What's up everybody, it's Joe from JLW Games coming at you with another cool video back in Planet Coaster in Arrow Valley, and it has been forever, I know, but I'm finally starting to hopefully get back on track with some uploads, and we are back, of course, in the wonderful series here. So, it's been a while since I've actually been touching the series, and I'm very excited to be back. This is actually my first episode with the GTX 1080 Ti graphics card as well. It's actually doing very awesome. I've actually been very satisfied with what I've been able to accomplish with it. I'm actually running ultra settings in this video right now. So I'm actually still running ultra settings on a lot of parks as well. You know, even Westwood, I can run Westwood and ultra settings and still get about 20 frames per second. That's without having really a lot of guess. Once the park starts getting crowded, though, it starts to actually lag a little bit. But that's very impressive to me that it can actually render all of Westwood and still get about 20 frames per second. That's actually very, very awesome. I'm actually very satisfied with that. So until stuff comes down, you know, this is I'm able to run this in ultra, the ultra preset, which is absolutely amazing. So anyways, back to what the video is going to be actually covering right now. So the video right now, I'm actually making some back areas of the Arrow Hall, and that is actually kind of a cool development as well, because I want to make sure there's like employee areas only, employee only areas, and just some back areas that you don't actually get to see usually as a guest. And I want to make sure a lot of the buildings have those back areas. You know, they have like the dumpster and everything in the back, and everything, all that cool stuff as well. You know, stuff that only employees have access to, and that's one. Excuse me, a couple things that I want to see. So I still have that cough slightly. So anyways, I hope you guys have been enjoyed the Tony McCoaster Park tour of Westwood that I posted not too long ago. That was actually a very fun video to do, and it actually took a lot of effort and actually multiple days to put that video together, for the simple fact that I actually slowed down the footage while I was walking through the park myself. So I actually was slowing it down using Cheat Engine, and yeah, so it took me literally about an hour and a half, maybe it might have even been more, I can't remember, to actually walk through the park as Tony McCoaster. So, and then I sped up the video in post-production and did the voiceover as Tony McCoaster, kind of live. You know, I sped it up. And I actually did some movie magic and added some motion blur effects as well to make it look a little bit more smooth and realistic in a way. So that literally took a day, about 30 some odd hours to actually render that video, even though it was only about a little over 20 minutes of footage that I added. Ended up actually only it literally took that long to render, and that was insane. Actually, I think it was actually more close to 40 some hours, which is absolutely nuts, because that is a lot of rendering time and patience, and not using my computer for the longest time just to render that video. So there's a lot of patience. I can't even imagine how long the cinematic video is going to take, because I've actually already got a lot of shots of that completed. I just got to piece them together still. So the cinematic video of Westwood is actually in progress right now. I'm actually working on it very hard. Hard at work at it at the moment, and trying to get all the shots that I need. I got a lot of the POVs done already, so that's going to be really fun and really cool. I'm glad that I waited until I got my graphics card. It makes things actually a lot easier, because I got a better frame rate, so I don't have to slow the video down as much as I would usually have to get that beautiful quality, and also, you know, great frame rate as well. Because a lot of people have been asking me in the last video, excuse me, with the park tour, how I actually got that frame rate really good, and the answer is there's a really good video on Silverette's channel that actually shows you how he actually does it, because that's actually where I got it from, is how he does it. Is, you know, you have to download Cheat Engine But be very careful when you download Cheat Engine. There could be a lot of malware and stuff like that, so make sure you don't install all of that stuff. So make sure you're reading through while you're installing it. But you literally go in and slow down Planet Coaster. Cheat Engine can actually slow down the game to whatever you want it to, and I usually slow mine down 4 times, and if you have about 20 frames per second, you slow it down about 4 times. That way, if you speed it up 4 times, it's going to get you to a better frame rate and different things like that. It might not be as, what might have not been 20 frames per second, might have been a little lower than that, but anyways, you go in Cheat Engine, you slow the game down, you record your footage, and then you speed it up in post-production, and it looks flawless, pretty much, which is actually really, really neat. So, that's how you easily can get good frame rate when you don't actually have good frame rate in game with your PC, because even with the GTX 1080 Ti, I'm still not gonna get 60 frames per second on ultra settings in a large park. That's still not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. So you gotta keep that in mind. So what we're working on here today, over here is some of the buildings that are going to be on the main square right here at the entrance. This main giant plaza, which is going to be really cool. It's going to have a lot of shops and different things like that. We get into the first couple of buildings on it, which will be really, really cool. And then I break off into the first area here, excuse me, that you'll see in just a little bit, that the pathway actually breaks off into, and I make a nice open pathway. That's the one thing about this. This is going to be a very different kind of park than Westwood, and every time I start a new series, I want to make sure it's very different than the last park that I did. And so the theming is going to be different. Again, this is going to be more generic and modern themed, so that's going to be really neat. And we don't get into our first ride in this episode, but hopefully in the next episode or so, we're going to get into our first coaster or rides as then. So I'm actually planning it out a little bit of where some coasters are going to be in the park. So we got a lot of work to do in this park. We're still in the very, very early stages, and I'm very excited because I don't have to rush myself, because I have all year to get it done, and the bit of next year to get it done as well. So I'm going to be taking my time, detailing as much as I can, going back and detailing some more, and then going around, and then of course coming back again cajillion times, coming back and detailing more things. So I want to make sure this park is as beautiful as it can be. And a lot of you guys have been commenting saying you need to detail some buildings a little bit more, and I agree. I'm gonna go back and maybe detail a little bit more of those buildings at the entrance and stuff like that, because that's gonna be something that's cool. So it has these buildings have a very simple look to them, but a very modern-y kind of look to them. So and they're very I make them kind of simplify it a little bit and make them very simple to build at the same time. Because they're not very complex. They're very basic buildings that aren't super hard to build, and I'm doing that way I can show you that it's possible to make some very detailed buildings using some basic steps and everything like that. And I don't want to go too advanced myself and past the boundaries that I'm used to and everything, because I'm getting better as time goes along, and my parks are looking more and more realistic and better as each park I go into. That's one thing I'm very excited about. And of course I had to update the entrance a little bit more, so I did add a couple of different details onto the entrance just to add a little bit more to it, some trims here and there on the building, and I'll probably add some more later, so don't worry about that. I'm still detailing these buildings as we go along. I'm going back to them constantly to make sure that they are as much as they can be. So again, here with the back areas of some of these shops and stuff, I'm going to keep that up. So that way there's still some back areas and employee-only areas. I'm going to make some gates that are only accessible to the employees and just general things like that that's going to make this park fantastic and amazing. So I love hearing your guys' feedback. You guys just seem to love everything that I'm currently doing on the channel, especially with the videos on Westwood right now, and there's still more to come. So don't think that Westwood's over yet. We still got a lot of videos to do left on Westwood. So there's a couple of main ones that I'm looking at, and the main one that I'm focused on right now is the cinematic video that will most likely be the next Westwood video to come out. And then after that, I'm actually thinking about another special video that could possibly be. I think I mentioned it before. I'm thinking about trying a documentary on the park as well. Kind of like you would see. One example I would say is go check out Devin Olson. He's got some really cool coaster documentaries. He's documented Outlaw Run. He's documented Fury 325. He's documented Lightning Rod. Just a lot of different things on his channel that you need to go check out. He's done a really good job. He's also done Gatekeeper, which was a really good one as well. I love watching his documentaries. They're very professional and very, very well put together. Some of the best documentaries I've ever seen, and he doesn't get enough focus on that. So I want to create a documentary similar to something like that, and I think that'd be kind of neat. And but we'll see how that turns out. If it doesn't turn out the way I want it, then I probably won't post it. But I'm going to try and attempt to make something similar to that of Westwood. So I think that would be like a very neat thing to do. But anyways, we're creating another plaza right off the entrance here, which is going to have some shops on the edge here. As you can see, I took a lot of inspiration from Silverette's tutorial of how to create, his pathing tutorial, and that's where a lot of this is coming from. So props to him for actually helping me create something like this. So but there's if you haven't known, there's kind of like this glitch right now with the path system where you can actually smooth them out a little bit and make them look a little bit more natural and more open in a way. And it's very, very cool that this glitch exists, because you can really create some nice plazas and open areas with pathways that you wouldn't usually normally be able to do in other situations most of the time. So this is kind of a shorter episode than most. I think I recorded, well, maybe not, it's still over 20 minutes, but I recorded for about an hour and a half, and a lot of people, of course, have been wanting me to do faster time lapses and speed the footage up even more and have more time covered. But for me, I don't like to work longer than 2 hours usually, and I want to make sure the video is an appropriate length. And I know a lot of you like to see what I'm doing in the park as well, most of the time, which is a nice thing to have kind of a slower time lapse. That way you can actually see it develop a little bit better, and you can kind of get an idea of how stuff was built, more than just and it's done. That's not really what I want to accomplish. I want to accomplish where you guys can actually pay attention to kind of what I'm doing, and it can actually help with your guys' building as well. By no means am I a professional builder and Planet Coaster, even though I do have nearly 500 hours in the game at this point. I feel like I should have some better skills than what I am, but but yeah, after doing this sidewalk thing, I thought it actually turned out very nice. And then I come back here and actually work a little bit on smoothing the path out a little bit. As you can see, the strategies, you go into kind of like a tight corner, and you kind of hold down the Z key and then just kind of move it and then delete that piece. It actually smooths out the pathway and the junctions a little bit. It's kind of a weird thing, but it makes it look less like a trail that's connected to pathways, but it makes it look more like it's all one giant path in a way, and that's something that's very nice to have. I will say that. So it is a very nice thing to have, and I'm thinking I'm going to be putting a lot more shops and stuff on the outside of that sidewalk. I think that'll be a nice little thing to do. To help out with, just filling the park up and making it look better. So that's going to be a nice development when that occurs. But there's just so much to do in this park that I'm very excited and I need to get back onto it because I want to make sure I'm still on a decent pace with building this park, and that when we get to the final stages, that I'm not going to rush it at all. So I have plenty of time to make something happen here. So I'm very excited for that. So these empty green areas, I'm gonna add just some foliage or something more like some statues, different centerpieces, different things like that to make the plaza just a little bit more pleasing and enjoyable. And this actually turns out really nicely. I actually used the hedges. I had different thoughts of what I was going to use on the outside between the path and the grass area itself, and the hedges actually look very great, very, very beautiful, and actually make the park look really, really good. So I'm actually very satisfied of how that is actually turning out. And let me know in the comments what you guys think of how this is turning out. So you guys have really had a lot of positive feedback on this park, and that's something that's very good. And I've gotten a lot of ideas from you guys as well, because you guys want a lot of different things in the park, and I love hearing your suggestions, and some of them I really think are really good ideas. So keep those up, and I love hearing from you guys all the time. So again, I wish I could get rid of this dreadful cough because it's absolutely sucks to say the least. But I'm trying to do I'm doing my best to get back on track again with videos and just get them back out to you guys, because I know that the channel's just been dead lately, but your guys' support is still there, and I can't believe that. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, I can't believe it, but it's just amazing your guys' support that you guys give me every single day for every single episode, and how your guys' patience was amazing. I can't believe, because I went like a whole week without uploading, about a week and a half, I think. And your guys' patience, no one rules. I mean, there's a lot of people saying, I know you're probably busy, but, which actually was awesome that you guys understand that, I was working 6 days a week, and now I'm back down to working just 5 days a week. So hopefully I'll be able to get back on track a little bit, and at least that's my hopes, because the park I work at is currently open 7 days a week at this point. So, but we finally got some staff in, and we're going to be able to get those 2 days off, and hopefully eventually 3 days off a week. So, and I'm still hitting 40 hours a week, which is even the awesome part. So back to the video, we're actually working on another building next to the just a memento that we built earlier in the episode. And this is going to help guide a little bit on the path on the backside as well, which is why I kind of wanted to start that at the same time. That way we can actually detail the buildings front and back, because they need to be detailed a little bit on the back, because there's actually going to be a pathway back there. And again, I want to make some more back areas of these, and just some behind the scenes. There's going to be a lot of shops and a lot of restaurants in the park. Fair warning, kind of like Westwood, but they're just going to be everywhere. I'm going to have buildings everywhere in this park, and that's going to be the goal of, and I want to make sure they all look unique too, and kind of have a different feel to them. So that's going to be another challenge that I'm going to be running into, and I'm still trying to debate what I want as the centerpiece of this park. Like Westwood had the clock tower, so the centerpiece is going to be at the end of this pathway, the straight pathway here in this plaza, kind of like Kings Island, with the Eiffel Tower or something like that. I'm still undecided what I want to do, if I want to do a ride like a Ferris wheel or something like that along those lines, or maybe even a roller coaster that goes over the front, a very cool centerpiece. I was debating whether to put one over the entrance, but to put one as the centerpiece of the park, I think would be really cool as well. So that might be another possibility in the near future as well, that I might be thinking. Now that I think of it, that's actually a really cool idea, to make like kind of like a gatekeeper kind of thing, where you have some sort of tower at the end there that's the actual centerpiece, and then you have a roller coaster that actually goes through that. So maybe even something like a wing coaster or something like that, I think would be actually a very good fit. Not that I want to copy Cedar Point or something like that, but have those near miss elements. Those wing coasters have a lot of near miss elements, so I think that'd be kind of a very neat thing to that could be a good addition to the park. But I might even do something different, maybe even an aero coaster, you know, with some corkscrews or something like that, or a loop or something. I'm not entirely sure. But that will all develop later. So this Mexcelente restaurant is looking amazing. I was actually very pleased with this building and the way it looked. But just the details on it was very cool. And, you know, these buildings could still use some more detail. But they're shaping up to be very nice. And I'm actually very happy with that. So, again, kind of another tip is if you're having some buildings next to each other, make sure they're different heights, different sizes, different shapes. That way they don't look like the exact same building. It adds a little bit more characteristic to them and make them a little bit more realistic at the same time. And if you can, actually adds a little bit of curves and stuff. I actually know what I'm going to put next to this Mexcelente, and it's going to be kind of like this outdoor section, but I'm going to make it more diagonal, so that way it's not completely straight. That way it adds a little bit more character to that side. So it's going to be really cool, and I hope you guys are enjoying this series as much as I am. And there's so many more cool things coming in this park, and I hope you guys are excited for it. So anyways, we're getting towards the end of this video, so I want to just say thank you guys so much for all your support, your patience, and everything. And I hope I get some more episodes out very, very soon, within hopefully the next day or so, or maybe even the next 2 days. Who knows? I don't exactly know. I just tried my best to get videos out when I can, with the time that I got. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this on JLW Games, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Make sure you have a great day and an even cooler tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks, and goodbye.